Welcome back to another episode of the Canadian Watch Monkey, and today I'm going to be talking about field watches. Now, if you're looking for a field watch, this is going to be a great video for you. I'm covering a few price points. The brands that I'm going to be talking about are Bulova, Hamilton, and Serica. I'll be flipping the camera around very shortly, so we'll get into a little bit of more detail about these watches and what are the pros and cons of each, and in hopes that you'll be able to make an informed decision when you make a purchase. So yeah, let's flip the camera around and let's get into this, guys. All right, so we've got the camera flipped around here, and these are the three watches that I'm going to be going over. So the first one here is the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. This one's got the date. I had the non-date as well, but it's so similar to these two that it wasn't I wasn't going to keep it. Here's the Serica, which if you've been following me, you know I love very much. And here's the newest edition, is the Bulova Hack. And this is the best value proposition here. Gives you all the looks and a lot of the features. There are some compromises made though. But anyway, let's just quickly clean these up a little bit for you and show you them in a little bit more detail. All right, so all three of these watches are kind of taking after this pocket watch here, and this is the Hamilton LLB, and it's a mechanical pocket watch that's dating back in the early 80s, and just a great little piece. It's a hand wind. These are really hard to find. If you can find one, you're going to pay on the other side of $500, but definitely a part of history and very cool. I'm just going to show you the Hamilton next to it, the watch, and you can see it's very similar. And actually the non-date version of the Hamilton Khaki Field is almost identical. All right, so that's where these are all kind of inspired from. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit too for you guys, so let's see if I can do that without pausing. All right, so let's get up a little bit closer so you can see these watches in a little bit more detail. Now let's start off with the least expensive. So this is the Bulova Hack, and it's an automatic movement inside, Miota, and it's hacking. So what that means is that when you pull this out, you can see it stops, and you can set the time. And this is very important for keeping precision with other members of your family in reality, but in wartime, I guess, with troops and that, you want a hacking watch so you could set the time more precisely. So of course you when it's pulled out like this, you have the ability to set the time, and right now it's just a little bit past 2 o'clock, so I'll set that there, and you can see the moment that I push that back in, you get the seconds hand moving. And you can see this is a really nice looking watch. Now, one of the things that I really like about this watch is look at that dome crystal. It distorts really nicely. Now, there are pros and cons with having this type of crystal, because it is not sapphire glass, so it will scratch, but it won't shatter. And you can polish it if you do get scratches with a product called Polywatch, and you can keep it looking good for a very long time. But just be aware, this is the only watch here that's not having the sapphire glass. And let's just flip this around, and this is a special edition, this particular hack, and it's kind of some of the proceeds of the watch are going to support the retraining of veterans that were wounded in war, and this is what this is about. And I think they're teaching them how to repair watches and that type of thing. So that's a really nice thing with the Bulova, is that they're actually doing something for the injured veterans. So nice looking watch. And it's fairly thick. Now just let me compare the thickness of the Hamilton, which is kind of the icon. So I'm just going to bring up the Hamilton here, and you can see the Hamilton is narrower, but it is a little bit longer from lug to lug. Out of these three watches, the Serica, which is this one here, this one is fairly thick. It's kind of in between. The Hamilton is going to be the thinnest, and the thickest is going to be the Bulova Hack. And they're all three of them are 38 millimeter case diameters. The thickness, let me just measure them for you. So here's the Serica here. And this one's coming in at 11.6, 11.7. The Hamilton, quite a bit thinner, 9.5 millimeters in thickness. And the Bulova is probably going to be around 13, I'm going to guess, 13.6. So the Bulova is a little bit thicker. You have to keep in mind too, the crystal is adding some of that thickness. Now, as far as quality goes with these watches, I'm going to have to say Hamilton's probably going to be the best. Let me just zoom back out so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, I would say Hamilton, it's got, you know, this is the icon of the bunch. And the Serica is a new kid. But the Hamilton has been around for a very long time. The Hamilton Khaki mechanical field watch is iconic. And for under that about $500-600 mark, you can't beat it, all right? But it has its limitations. Now, this is a watch that you really can't dress up. But the Serica, on the other hand, you most definitely can, and because it's of the way the case is and the polishing and so on, it even looks nice on this bracelet that it comes on. This is a bond clip. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. That's what the Serica comes on, which is really nice. If you wanted to buy that strap alone, separately, you're looking over $100 just for that bond clip style strap. And the Bulova here, it's just on a canvas type strap, nothing special. But it does the job, you know, it keeps the watch on the wrist, and you can see that the buckle here is branded. And the Hamilton, this isn't the original strap that this came on. I changed it up, but it's going to be similar to this. It's usually some sort of canvas strap or a NATO or something like that. This is one of the straps that I've been playing with on these watches as well. This is like a Erica's original stretchy strap, which is these things are super comfortable, by the way. If you're thinking about getting one, I would recommend these. This one isn't Erica's original. I think this came from Cheapest NATO's, or but I think they've just recently had a name change. But anyway, let's not get into that. We're just talking about these watches here. But anyway, my honest opinion on these three watches, they're all great. This one is representing great value at around that $300 mark. The Hamilton, you're looking around $500-600. Used, you can find these for about $400. And then the Serica, you're not going to find these on sale. These are about $600, maybe a little bit more. This one here is out of Paris, France, and you got to order it. You've got to wait. You're probably going to pay taxes, duties, whatever, when you do get this. But it is a special watch, and this is really getting a strong following. The Bulova, yeah, you can get this on Amazon, no problem at all. And you pick them up for around that $300 mark, $400 mark. Now this comes in different colors as well. It comes in white, comes in blue, comes in black with red print and so on. But this was my favorite. This is the one that I thought looked the best of the bunch, just because it's very classic looking. So what else can I tell you about them? This one has some water resistance. Sorry, I don't have the figures on hand. I know this one, I believe, has 200 meters of water resistance. I'll throw all three of these on wrist, and I'm going to do a Lume shot in a moment for you guys. But out of the three, this one by far is the most versatile. If you're looking for just one watch that you can use daily, I would go with the Serica, just because it's a little bit less military. I really like the hands on this too, the broad arrow type, which is an Omega type style. This one here is much more traditional. Sorry, it's overlapping. Let me just pull that out for a sec so you can see there. And same with the Hamilton, it's very military-like. Again, I'm just going to get close up before I do the wrist and Lume shots for you guys. So again, okay, you can see the Bulova here. Great looking watch. They're all automatics, by the way. That's the Serica. Let me just write that down for you. Okay, that's the Serica compared to the Bulova. And then you got the Hamilton with the date. You can get this without date. You can get it white dial as well, and it comes in bronze and all kinds of things. Okay,
The one thing too about the Serica, if you're left-handed, you can have the crown ordered with this being on this side. So those are the three. I'll put them all side by side. You can see they all look very similar. I think they all look amazing. Quickly flip them over. That's the Hamilton case back for you guys. The Serica case back, very kind of generic, nothing special there. And then the Bulova, which has got the spectacular case back. So fortunately you don't get to see it very often, but when you do, it's definitely a treat for the eyes. All right, so I'm just going to quickly throw these on wrist so you can see what they look like. Today I'm wearing my Junghans telemeter. Beautiful watch. This one's out of Germany. So I'll just pop that off. Oops, sorry, just bumped into the camera. Quickly throw the Hamilton on wrist first so you can see what it looks like on a 7-inch wrist. So there you go. Actually, let me zoom back out again. There you go. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can see that looks pretty sharp. Sorry about the glare. We'll put the Bulova on next. Now the Bulova sits a little bit higher because it is a little bit thicker, and the strap is very long. You can see on a 7-inch wrist, I'm at the last hole here. I don't know, they were thinking when they made these straps, they could have made them a little bit smaller, I think. And then you can just tuck that extra inside, but I'm not going to bother with that. So there's a Bulova. You can see it does sit a little bit higher. But again, another really great looking piece, especially at this price point. It's a great deal. The Bulova was a surprise. I didn't think it was going to be that nice. Okay. And the Serica on the bond clip. So let me just unclip that. And we'll throw this on wrist. Oh, look at that. I've got this on backwards. Okay, they should have been flipped around. So anyway, I've got it clipping kind of the wrong way. Or do I? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, yeah, no. Okay. So I'll just clip that on. And there's the Serica. Now, to me, if you're going to have one watch and you're going to use it daily, the Serica is the way to go. And by the way, the customer service with Serica, fantastic. Jerome, gentleman, I've said that before. And it's just a great looking watch. The bond clip creates some interest as well. Obviously, if you don't want it on a bond clip, you can throw it on all kinds of straps. The leg width here is 20 millimeters, as is on all of these. So yeah, these straps will are all interchangeable. So if you wanted the Serica on that, not a problem at all. If you wanted to throw it on this, a little bit more challenging because you got to take the spring bar out to get it on, but you just pop that on and you can have this kind of look on it. So you can see what that looks like. Yeah, so this one is definitely the strap monster of the three, just because of that polished case. Now, one last thing before I let you guys go, I'm just going to do that loom shot as promised. So let's get these suckers loomed up. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to loom up this vintage LL Bean. Now, you got to know too, the Hamilton khaki fields aren't really well known for their loom. They're okay. The Hamilton khaki field 2 also doesn't really use anti-glare. So let's get those all zoomed up. Okay, so those are all charged up. I'm going to kill the lights and you can take a look and see what these guys look like. All right, so there's your Hamilton. There's your Bulova, which is a heck of a lot brighter. And there's the Serica. So Serica, Bulova, Hamilton. So they all glow reasonably bright, but you can definitely see the Bulova is outshining them all. And then of course we got the old LL Bean, which the loom is pretty much dead. Almost. Let's just go back again and let's do that for you again. But you can't expect that to be as bright as the others, that's for sure. Okay, so there you have it. And that wears out pretty quickly, as you saw. Well, that's a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Canadian Watch Monkey, and maybe that helped you with making a decision on what field watch you want. They're a lot of fun, for sure. And it's a great gateway watch if you're just getting into the hobby. You really can't go wrong. The one nice thing about the Hamilton, I must say though, if you want to get rid of it after some time, you're not going to lose too much value on this. There's such a strong value proposition, especially if you buy yours used. Typically, you can find these for around the $400, $450 mark used, Canadian dollars. The Bulova, you don't see them used, probably a little bit tougher sell. Actually, if you're interested in this one, I'll let it go for basically what I paid, 300 bucks. It's brand new. It's only been used for the review. And the Serica's not for sale. I really like the Serica. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments there. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Canadian Watch Monkey. Have a great weekend.